Hello friends, and hello enemies. So as you can already tell, this is going to be a bit of an unusual review, and that's because I've got 4 big boys here. Well, 3 big boys and 1 little boy, and they will not fit in my review room. I also can't put them on the dining room table because I'm working on another dinosaur. It's just dinosaurs all around. This one is a robot dinosaur from Horizon Zero Dawn, the Thunderjaw. One of my favorite designs from one of my favorite games. I've been working on putting the decals on this model, and it's almost done, maybe. We'll see. Got some really tiny decals. I don't know why they did it that way. Anyway, so a while ago I backed the Beasts of the Mesozoic Tyrannosaur Kickstarter, and now my items are in. Took a while because I ordered this Gorgosaurus and it was a Wave 3 product, so it took him a while to travel from the factory here. But, let's see, I've got Gorgosaurus, Proceratosaurus, classic T-Rex, and Utyrannus, and I'm sorry for the glare. Lots of glare out here, very small in my review room. There's just basically no perfect way to do this, and so we're going to do it imperfectly, like we always do. Squid. Also, blahage. So it's pretty standard packaging for all of these. They're all pretty much the same except for the T-Rex is in a slip cover. Some very nice artwork. I believe this is by Raul Ramos. I think both this art and the Gorgosaurus art are by him. Then we have Utyrannus by Shannon Beaumont, and the Proceratosaurus is by Gabriel Uguto. I think I'm pronouncing that right, but maybe not. Anyway, just really beautiful art from accomplished paleo artists. So because these are kind of big, I'm only going to look at 2 today. We're going to be taking a look at the Gorgosaurus, which is the largest one, and the Proceratosaurus, which is the smallest one. Makes sense to me. And that's all that matters. The next review we'll be looking at the T-Rex and the Utyrannus. Utyrannus? I don't know how you pronounce it, which is probably bad because I am a professional paleo artist, believe it or not, but some of these dinosaur names, man, I don't know. Alright, we've got our 2 dinosaurs unboxed. It was a bit of a struggle, especially for the big one, and they do come with the tails unattached, so you need to heat those up and plug those in yourself. Actually, the name of the game with both these figures and the other 2 figures I'll be opening next time is Heat, especially if you're going to be swapping out the legs and the feet of this one. I haven't tried it on this one yet, but it might be the same. They're just fresh from the factory, they're very stiff. This one's got really chunky joints, so you need to make sure to heat it up before you move anything. Don't force anything if you can help it, because it might break. So they'll come with some really cool trading cards with the artwork we saw on the packaging. That's really nice to have because I do like this artwork and I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the packaging. You get some facts on the back. They each come with a little instruction manual telling you what to do and what not to do. Very helpful for some figures. I think a lot of it is common sense, but for these I think something like this is important, so you know what you're doing. Limits breakage, and each does have a good amount of options for feet. I'm not sure so much about articulation with this one. I've messed around with it a little bit. The articulation, especially in the head and neck, seems a little limited. So this Gorgosaurus is 1/18 scale, so he is very big. I do not regret it at all. It's large, it's going to take up a lot of room, but it is a beautiful piece. I actually don't have that much of an attachment to Gorgosaurus. I mean, it's a dinosaur I'm aware of course, but I don't really have any particular reason for wanting this one in particular, except for the color scheme. I loved this color scheme from the moment I saw it. There were a lot of really cool Tyrannosaurs in this line. I couldn't get them all because that would have been a lot of money. So I kind of had to spend a long time picking and choosing, and I went with the big blue. So in addition to this figure and the base, it also comes with several different foot options. I've got some really nice ones for laying flat on the ground. Ones that are kind of curled inside. Are these the ones for the running pose? Because you can put it in a running pose. You also get completely different lower legs. So while these are not articulated, these are articulated at this ankle joint here. I had to heat them up to move them, and I will say that the foot part is very loose now. It keeps wanting to come out, but heating it up is the only way you're going to get that to move without breaking it, so be careful. So the instruction manual suggests that if you'd want to just stand it up like this, you use the standing legs without the joint. They also say that it can stand on its own without the base. I tried that and it didn't work for me. I have no doubt that it can if you get it into the exact right pose. I was unable to, so I just went ahead and pegged him in. Gonna stand up. You gonna stand up. What is physics? I'm bad at toy physics. Can never get things to stand. It's precarious, but it'll work for now. So you have this metal peg on the base, and that is where its foot pegs in. It's also interesting because there's a secondary base part that's attached to the primary base with this little clip. So you, oh, there he goes. So you can unclip that and just have it like off to the side somewhere, like as a little rock or a little perch for one of his feet. We're going to keep the standing legs on for now as we look at the sculpt. And I cannot fit it all on my screen because it's so big. That's okay. As always from Creative Beast Studio, beautiful sculpt, beautiful paint. Let's get the mouth open so we can see that. Really awesome front-facing sculpt. It looks very bird-like. That's super cool. Much more intimidating and a little less goofy from the side. Much like a bird. It looks a little silly from the front, but scary from the side. Got a really good amount of texture, smooth up at this nasal crest, up to these little protrusions above the eyes. Very smooth on the inside, those teeth and that tongue hit with some spot gloss. Tiny, tiny scales, thick wrinkles. It's all painted so well too. You've got some darker blacks on top of those scales and wrinkles to bring those out. Lots of detail on the underside too, even some detail work on the feet. I've backed every Beast of the Mesozoic Kickstarter so far, and they are all amazing quality. So I knew this one would be too. If you look close, you can see like a secondary blue mixed in with that base blue. It's kind of like a purpley color. I just love this one a whole lot. Look at his little ear hole. One complaint I do have is that no matter how many times I think I've got this tail piece in correctly, it's not ever in all the way. And it's come out twice now when I thought for sure that it's been secure in there. It has to be heated up, and I guess you have to be stronger than I am to get it in there all the way. And I want to bring attention, if I can, to the paint on the foot. I just really love the way that they did the claws. Just kind of a dirty claw texture with some gloss on top of it. Looks very cool, very effective. I might have to switch out its legs off screen. Let's see if this will work. Oh, okay, we got one. I wanted to switch these out for the articulated legs. Oh, okay. It helps that I heated it up a lot. This foot is still kind of loose. Hopefully that won't be an issue. Man, this is a big boy. Difficult to maneuver. I feel like I'm gonna knock over my camera like this. So if you have it in just a standing pose, they do recommend having the non-articulated legs on. That's understandable because over time these might grow weak. You should only use them if you do want this bend in the leg. As far as articulation, I don't think this one has that much, at least not in this head and neck area, because I've messed around with it and there's not much up and down there, which is kind of what I really wanted, but it's just not happening. Maybe mine is just really stuck and I can't get it. You do have some twist, and that's nice. You have more twist on the head as well, but it's mostly in this neck movement. Of course, you've got the mouth open, which is really cool. But yeah, I'm looking for some movement here, and there is none. I've kind of peeked past this neck joint, and I think it's just a dumbbell there, but I do wish there was more up and down here. You do have some pretty good movement on these little hams. I know my big hand is in the way of this little hand, but you've got some up and down and back and forth on that arm. Then a little bit of elbow, and some flex on the tiny wrist, and this is so little, you guys, so you gotta be careful with that. You got a little bit of twist up at this joint, but not necessary, I don't think. Then again, I'm not a toy engineer, what do I know? You've got movement on that dumbbell joint on the tail, and then you've got these other segments. There is a wire in the very tippy tail, and then for the legs, they can kind of splay out a little bit. Up, not very much, but that's not needed. They pivot a little bit to the side and go out. You've got a bend at the knee, and since this is our articulated leg, you've got a bend at this ankle here. And then at the toes, oop, yep, see this foot is loose, that's okay. Some up and down, and some swivel there. As you saw, it is a ball joint. So if you want it on the base, you have to switch out one of these legs with one of the standing ones because they're the only ones that have the hole in them for the peg. All right, we've got him into somewhat of a dynamic pose. I do like that it comes with different foot options. That is very nice, because if it was just this flat foot, it would look very weird. But this way you're able to have that one little toe pad on the ground, the rest of the foot up in the air, the dinosaur kind of lurching forward. These bigger ones are just, I think, a little limited in what they can achieve just by the nature of the shape of the animal itself and the size. I mean, to be honest, if you saw one of these in real life, alive, today, I don't think it would be able to twist itself into a bunch of different positions. But this is just a gorgeous piece. I don't mind that it's not super articulated. I just want to put it somewhere and admire it. So let's look at the other one. So given its much smaller size, Proceratosaurus is a different beast. It does not come with a peg stand. It just comes with a regular nice little terrain stand. I really like that. There's a lot of different rocks. There's a fallen log, some moss, no holes in the feet because you get this cradle stand instead, which isn't my favorite way to display these, but I understand that it's probably the best option. A foot peg would be way too small and fragile. This isn't really shaped correctly to have a hole in here that you plug into the stand, so I think a cradle is probably best we can get. If I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember why I chose this one. I remember wanting one of the smaller ones with the decorative crest. I don't know why I got this one and like not Guanlong, for instance, whose color scheme I think I would like more. I don't know why I chose this one. That was a long time ago. Who knows what my brain was doing. I definitely wanted a smaller, fuzzy one. I liked the crest, so that's probably along the lines of what I was thinking. More articulation here, or at least articulation that is easier to facilitate. We do have some up and down movement, which I've been looking for, but not much. Not much there. We do have a swivel there, though. The same kind of movement on the arms. Some nice swivel, some arching out. I love its little paw pads there. I know they're not paws, but you know what I mean. Some flex on the wrist. Maybe there's some movement here, but it's very stiff. It's not letting me move it. And I've already heated this one up, so it might have cooled down enough already to where it's getting stuck again. I'm not sure. Ooh, yeah, I think it must be because this joint is real sticky. Alright, I had to heat it back up. But yeah, we get a little movement on that knee, but not very much at all. Some on the ankle. It actually moved so much I was afraid I'd broken it, but I think we're cool. And a little bit of rock and flex on that foot. I am cautious with this one because it is small. The joints are tiny. I don't want to break it. Of course, we've got a lot of tail movement. And there's a wire in this one, so you can bend the tail. So that's nice. You can get a little bit more dynamism out of that. It comes with several extra little feet along the same lines of the Gorgosaurus. You've got some stepping feet and some running feet. Very, very tiny. And the running feet are just, the toes are a little bit closer together than on the walking feet. The toes with two segments go on the inside of the leg. The stand is a little obtrusive, but what can you do? At a certain angle, you can't really see it, which is nice, but only from that angle. Also, these legs are so small, I'm so scared I'm going to lose them, so invest in a bag or something, like a little baggie to put these in if you're not going to keep the packaging. Even if you're going to keep the packaging, because they could still get lost in there somewhere. They're very small. So what I'm going to do next is... Are you kidding me? This whole review has been a shit show. This has been difficult for me. Maybe that's dramatic. It's been a little rough, though. I can't even keep the camera from moving. I'm a real professional. This is why I don't have that many subscribers. It would be funny if I kept all this in the video. Usually I just cut stuff like this out. Anyway, we finally come to the comparison part of the review. Isn't that your favorite? So I believe this scale is accurate, but only because this is a juvenile Triceratops, so not the full-size one. It'll make more sense when I have the T-Rex unboxed. And then this is, I forget what scale this Velociraptor is in, but it should be accurate to the Gorgosaurus. It's a little dusty because it lives on my desk, just like hanging out. Oh, they all look so good together. I'm really pleased with this. I was wondering if I made the right choice, and I think I did, because I really like this one. So, I hope you like this review. Sorry it was a little insane. I am a huge fan of this line. I just love them. If I could have every single dinosaur they make, I would. I really liked the dragons from the new Kickstarter too. That Kickstarter's over, but they have a dragon. Well, it's like cybernetic dinosaurs versus dragons or something. Yeah, I really wanted something from that Kickstarter, but I just couldn't afford it at the time. So maybe in the future. But yeah, for now, that's gonna be it. And remember, next time we'll be looking at the T-Rex and the U-Tyrannus. So if you're interested in that, stick around because that's going to go up soon. And as always, likes and subscribes are very much appreciated. Comments are more than welcome. I'll see you guys in the Mesozoic. Not really, I'll see you on the next review.